Warp Pipe Wednesday.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Warp Pipe Wednesday. I'm Russ Lyman.
What's up, guys? I'm NES Addict.
And this is the shorter show, about 15 minutes or so. We have a longer podcast, which we do every Saturday at 7 a.m. so you can catch full episodes then. But here's the shorter one, and we're talking Jean Claude Van Damme. Definitely staple actor of 80s, 90s martial art movies, for sure.
Absolutely.
Classic ones I've seen him in. I mean, growing up, my dad rented tons of his karate movies, so that's how I was introduced to him there. I did bring up his wiki. Let's see, he was born in October 1960.
Nice.
And let's see, he's a Belgian actor, martial artist, filmmaker, and fight choreographer. Born and raised in Brussels, Belgium.
The muscles from Brussels.
Nice. I wonder if any kids called him that.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see. Desire becoming an actor. He moved to the United States in 1982, where he did odd jobs and worked on several films until he got his break as the lead in the martial arts film from 1988. What is it, people? What could it be?
Was it Bloodsport?
Ding, 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 ding. Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's freaking definitely a classic one. And it's based on a true story, true life story. Definitely remember watching that. And I remember where he was like training to like make himself do a split.
Yes.
And he had like all this contraptions. Well, I took some ropes and tied them to my bedpost and tried the same thing.
When you were a kid?
Yes.
Or as an adult?
Last week now. Yeah, as a kid, I was like, I want to do a split. That's cool. I'm like, nope, this isn't working.
That's amazing. That's so funny, Russ. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, that movie was great. Definitely a fun one for sure.
Yeah, he was also in Street Fighter too, which is kind of cool. Wasn't he Guile?
So that's such a weird, because Guile is like the all-American fighter in Street Fighter, yet you cast a Belgium actor. Yeah. I get why, because obviously he's Van Damme, good with the martial arts and all that, and like top of the game there, and you're like, you want to get a well-known actor to draw in the crowd and all that, but he essentially didn't fit the American role.
Like, you know who actually, if they could have had an American accent, who would have been a better Guile?
Okay.
Dolph Lundgren.
Right.
He kind of looks like Guile and Rocky with the blonde hair.
Yeah, true. With the blonde hair, yeah, and that chisel like jaw and everything.
Yeah, he'd have made a great Guile. Purely based on his looks.
I'll go through a quick list of his movies here. And we can kind of discuss some of our favorite ones and this and that. Said Van Damme became popular action film star and followed that up with Cyborg, 1989. We got Kickboxer, also 1989. Lionheart, Death Warrant in 1990. Double Impact, where he plays two roles in that. Double Down, Jean Claude Van Damme, Double Impact. Universal Soldier, Nowhere to Run, Hard Target, Time Cop, Street Fighter 1994, Sudden Death. I know Jay wanted to talk about that one.
Yeah, baby.
That was in 95. The Quest, which I don't think I've seen that. Maximum Risk. And then it says, after a decline, Van Damme returned to prominence with the critically acclaimed crime drama JCVD. Never heard of this. 2008. It says directed by French Tuzin film director or something. Let's see. As a semi-fictionalized version of himself, a down-and-out action star whose family and career are crumbling around him as he's caught in, what is he caught in? The middle of a post office heist in his hometown. I don't know.
I don't either. Never heard of that one.
Never heard of that one. What movies you say would be your favorite?
So, for me, because of my love of hockey, in the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sudden death takes place at the ice arena where the Penguins played hockey, called the Igloo, back in the 90s.
Oh,
And
nice, nice.
it actually shows the Pittsburgh Penguins playing the Chicago Blackhawks, which was in 1992, the Stanley Cup final. So I think it was kind of loosely based on that final. And basically some criminal, I watched this like 3 weeks ago, so I should remember the plot better. But like, and I own the DVD, but like, I'm not exactly sure what the criminal's out to get, but he like wants control. And I think the vice president happens to be there in a box seat. So he like sneaks in with his men dressed up like part of the chef's crew and makes his way up. And meanwhile, Van Damme is like, he's like a retired like firefighter, but he's doing like security kind of detail at the arena.
Okay.
And basically he finds out there's all these bombs there, and he's going around and trying to disarm all these bombs. And to add to the plot, his son and daughter are in the stands, and he always says like the main thing to remember is if you're in a burning building falling down around you, be still, which sounds counterintuitive, right? You think you would run and get out. So anyway, his daughter ends up staying in the seat, and he finds her, you know, and she's like, or maybe it was the son. He's like, I did what you said, Dad. I stayed still. But anyway, he's like disarming all these bombs. There's like helicopters crashing into the top of the Igloo. There's cutscenes of the Pittsburgh Penguins skating around, playing hockey.
Nice.
And there's a couple of the actual actors in the movie, like not actors, but the hockey players, like Luke Robitaille, who I know you have no idea who that is, Russ. Amazing Pittsburgh Penguins winger was in it, and another guy named Jake Caulfield, who actually does their announcing now. So that was really cool. And then the other cool thing was there was a fight scene with there was a woman who was wearing the Pittsburgh Penguins mascot. His name is Iceberg.
Okay.
Wearing his outfit. So like there's like this big like, you know, mascot fighting Jean Claude Van Damme. It's nice. It's epic. Anyway, so as a Penguins fan, it is huge for me.
Brought the puck and everything.
Love it.
Do you remember the more recently he came out with a commercial, and definitely how we brought it up in Bloodsport, Van Damme is definitely known for like him doing the splits.
Yeah.
Like always trying to get the splits off in the movie. I forget which movie it was, either if it was Bloodsport or what was the other one? Kickboxer, where there's a scene where he's like dancing in a bar with some girls, and then he like drops down and does a split. Like any chance to do a split. But he came out with a commercial where it's a close up of him, and then as it slowly pans back, he's doing a split with his feet on two semi trucks that are driving down the road.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I wonder if that's who like Kano was basically loosed off of. Remember Kano would always do the split and like punch somebody in the nuts?
Right. I wonder. Yeah. I seen the actor who did the motion cap. Well, not really motion cap. I guess the full action stuff. He came out to Retro World. That would have been an interesting question. But like, did you base the character off of that from watching maybe some Van Damme movies?
Right. Yeah. Who knows? At least that one move, right?
Right. Well, Johnny Cage too was also doing the split and the punching.
Oh, am I getting the two confused?
Maybe. I was thinking like, well, I think Kano might.
No, you know what? I said Kano, but I
Cage.
meant Johnny Cage. Yeah.
Daniel Pacina did got to Johnny Cage. I would definitely ask him if he's at Retro World Expo this year.
That's so funny. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Jean Claude Van definitely was a big movie icon for any. If you're gonna have like a martial arts movie, you just went to him essentially, because there's almost like I often got Bloodsport and Kickboxer confused.
Right.
I'm like, wasn't he kickboxing in Bloodsport?
Yeah.
How do they pitch that to him? It's like, we're gonna make the same movie. It's a little different.
It's a little different. You're just gonna be fighting different people.
Right.
He was just so good at it, you know. Like I even think in that sudden death movie, I think he did a split too. Must have been like in his contract. I will do a split.
I have to do splits. I
Yeah.
did hear a rumor on the street during the filming of Street Fighter. He was doing lots of drugs.
Oh wow. Well,
so they had to reschedule shoots and awkwardness around that. So I'm happy the movie came out.
yeah. I guess money in Hollywood will do that to you.
But yeah, I mean, him being a big actor and blockbuster movies coming out, you're making the money, and then you get into some bad habits. But
yeah, yep,
it's all right.
Yeah,
it's what it is. It's Hollywood, baby.
That's right. You got to. I guess you don't got it, but he did. What was your particular favorite Van Damme movie?
I definitely enjoyed. I said Bloodsport, but I liked. I'd say Universal Soldier was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Who else was in that with him?
Let me see. I'm bringing up the who was in here. Who we got in here? Joel B. Michaels. That was the producer. Dolph Lundgren was in that.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wasn't Dolph Lundgren in that with him? Yeah.
Yeah. So the plot is in 1969, U.S. Army team secures a village against Vietnam, and they discover members of his squad and villagers were murdered. Andrew Scott has gone insane, made a necklace of severed ears. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
that. After shooting each other to death, their corpses are recovered by a second squad in genetically frozen. There we go. And their disappearance classified as missing in action. So then they bring them back as like these part cyborg beings or whatever. And I think they made like two or three of these like after, but without the Van Damme wasn't in it. But I always enjoyed that like sci-fi-ish.
Yeah, the aspect of it
meets the karate martial arts. That like I enjoyed that and Time Cop. I recently seen some stuff on that. I came across this really great YouTube channel that takes the movie and really points out a lot of the flaws. And he either goes, the movie's either called like Time Cop, the best movie ever, or like the worst movie ever, and he'll just like dig it apart. But it was so funny how he breaks it down, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think of it like that. But
what's the name of the channel? I'd like to see those.
I'm gonna look it up and see. I'll pull that up real quick because I must have watched like 7 of them. He did that. He did Demolition Man. I was like, oh man, this is great.
That's so funny.
Let's
I love
see.
it.
Time Cop, best movie ever.
So I guess he's like 60, 61, 62, 63. He's 63 now.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
Still kicking.
No pun intended. Or pun intended. I don't know.
Possibly. Let me see if I can
take it how you want it.
Is this a comedic movie? I'm not 100% sure if I could find it quick. Oh no, you guys are going to be disappointed.
That's all right.
On what I was watching. I can't go dive through all my history here.
Just YouTube search it and you'll probably find it.
Right, but they break it down in case you want to get a funny cliff notes of the movies. Was he in? I'm trying to remember. Was he in Expendables?
Maybe because it was like pretty much every action person from the 90s.
Expendables. He might have been in.
I sadly don't remember a whole lot about any of the movies, with the exception of Street Fighter and Sudden Death.
And Sudden Death.
Yeah, like I remember just a little bit of Bloodsport and a little bit of Universal Soldier. I remember him wearing those ears around his, or like Dolph Lundgren wearing those ears around on his necklace.
Well, let's see. I'll look up on IMDb and see what he has going on now. Essentially, I don't know if he has any new movies coming out.
I don't know. I saw a picture of him recently, and it made me kind of sad. I was like, oh man, Van Damme's starting to show his age.
Right? Yeah. Our 80s, 90s action stars. You're like, oh man.
Yeah, you guys were like just like the coolest back then.
Let's see. It says, oh, in Minions: Rise of Gru, he was a voice.
That's cool.
Jean Claude was the character.
Jean Claude.
Like claws, like Claude.
CLAWD.
Oh, looks like he did a Kickboxer Retaliation came out in 2018. And Kickboxer Vengeance. So it looks like he kind of went back to some of his titles as like a revisit.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with him in years.
Yep, but Universal Soldier, Day of Reckoning, he did in 2012, and he was in The Expendables 2, the second one.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Makes total sense. He was an icon.
Right. Yeah, like I said, if you had any martial arts movie you wanted to...
It's like you think of him, Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chuck Norris.
Right. We could almost do episodes on all of those there.
Those kind of guys.
Seeing if any other titles jump out here. Oh, he's got a couple uncredited movies, I guess, before he started off. But yeah, the biggest one was Bloodsport in '88. Black Eagle, Death Warrant, Body Count.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch those. I wonder if any of them are on Netflix or like Hulu or anything.
I'm sure they are somewhere streaming. Yeah,
I'll have to Google that
and check those out. Yeah, for sure. Classic ones. Trying to think what else you'd say about him.
Did you ever use his name in replace of a swear word?
Jean Claude
Van Damme it. You know, like something like that. You ever do that when you were younger?
Maybe I'll start. I don't think I did.
It was my way of like cursing without saying like a real bad word.
That works.
I still catch myself saying it sometimes. Van Damme it.
Perfect. Now you pick up some slang from
there. You go.
Listening to the War Pipe. But
sorry.
Yeah, Jean Claude Van Damme. I know. Was it Eric or Jarrett from Retro Gaming Pandemic? I know is a big Van Damme fan. So if he's listening to this episode,
I would guess that it would be Jared between the two, but it could be Eric.
I think it is Jared because we did a video on my channel because the Blu-ray came out for Street Fighter, the movie, and we did a little collaboration on that. And
yeah,
that was
I could see Jared being a big Jean Claude Van Damme fan.
Yeah, so definitely an awesome action star, and we'll always remember those excellent movies from the 80s and 90s of him. If you guys want us to cover any other action stars, let us know. Figure this would be fun for a War Pipe Wednesday because it's a shorter format. We could just talk briefly and bada bing, bada boom.
Yep. Let us know in the comments below what was your favorite Jean Claude Van Damme movie. And if it was sudden death, you're awesome.
You're awesome. Hey, we got a phone number now. If you guys want to call us, you could dial 949-682-WARP.
That's so cool.
I couldn't get Warp Pipe, but so it's 949-682-9277. You can leave us a voicemail or even a text message, and we can play them on the air. It won't be a live call in. Some people are asking about that. I was like, I don't know how to run that because we would have to have the stream run publicly so you guys know when to call. But since it's pre-recorded, you could just call in, leave us a message about the topic we're covering, or if you just want to say, hey, what's up? You guys can do that and follow us. We do now have a Instagram and a Facebook page. It's just The Weekly War Pipe. You guys can search that and give us a call.
We're moving up in the world.
Yeah, I'm trying to make the podcast a little more interactive for you guys. You can catch us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. on YouTube, Spotify, and all that. And full episodes of The Weekly War Pipe every Saturday at 7 a.m. as well. Follow me at Russ Lyman. Jay, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can follow me on TikTok, NES Addicts. Go help me get the 50K. I'm getting close. And, watch my old stuff on YouTube. And as I say always, I'm here every Wednesday and Friday with my buddy Russ Lyman.
That's right. All right, guys. As always, I'm Russ Lyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit. Whoa!